So this is a Michell Gyro SE turntable. It's a suspended turntable. Price point with this package, which has got our Techno Arm tone arm on there and a QCC cartridge, is in the region of $5,500. You can buy the turntable with different arms and different cartridges, so you can build it up to suit your needs. Like I say, it's a suspended turntable, so the whole thing is hanging on 3 springs. Within the actual assembly of the suspension tower, there's a spindle, a thrust ball, and then an outer pillar, so it's actually sitting on 3 pinpoints. It's an open design. Our philosophy is that if you put a turntable in a box, the first thing the box is going to do is start to resonate. So strip all that away. We've got a heavy aluminium chassis with stainless weights to counterbalance the weight of the tone arm. Completely separate motor assembly, so that doesn't touch the turntable at all. The only interaction it has is through the drive belt. So any noise or vibration, however small, from this is not going to affect the rest of the turntable. One of the big innovations that we did on this turntable is the bearing assembly. It's very contrary to many other turntables. So for the platter itself, so we've got 6 weights. There's solid brass. The idea of that is when it's spinning, the weight is around the periphery of the platter, so it keeps very good speed. Once it's up to speed, it has very little the motor just basically keeps it turning. Once it's up to speed, it's all good. The bearing assembly itself is inverted. So instead of a traditional one where the spindle goes in and the platter is up here, we spin all that round. The first thing that does is lowers the centre of gravity of the turntable, because the point of rotation is at the top. So inverted bearing. So if you can see in there, there's a small groove machined into the bore. It's a very gentle spiral, and all the time it's turning, it draws the oil up, lubricating this all the way. So there's 2 wearing surfaces in there to obviously hold the bearing in place, and those are fully lubricated at all times. When you've got a traditional turntable, which is that way up, so you've got the platter turning here, it takes a lot of pressure to push the oil that you've got at the bottom up to lubricate those surfaces. So you can end up with the oil sitting at the bottom and actually the top wearing surface not being lubricated. It can create rumble and all sorts of things. Doing it all this way around just makes it much, much quieter, and just as little friction as you're going to get in an all metal bearing like that. So all the time this is turning, it's drawing oil up, lubricating both surfaces within the bearing. Anything that comes off the bearing at all collects in the bottom, doesn't interfere with the actual operation of the bearing at all. So that basically adds up to an extremely efficient, very, very quiet bearing.
Just a brief interruption, esteemed viewers. As you may know, I'm Tom Martin, Chief Content Officer of The Absolute Sound. We have a new product. It's on the Substack platform, and we're going to do some interesting things with Substack. First of which is reader questions and answers. Each Monday, readers will submit questions. We'll pick the most interesting ones and we'll answer the questions on Friday. We'll also have early access to articles and special blogs that don't appear anywhere else. We hope you'll join us. It's only a cost of a cup of coffee per month. Just check on the screen or in the show notes below. Thanks, and now back to the show.
The platter is a solid slab of Delrin, which is very similar acoustically to vinyl. We use this material so that the boundary between the vinyl and the platter is very similar. So if you use a clamp, which we sell as an option, once you clamp vinyl to this, any vibrations that can happen between the surface of the platter and the vinyl, that energy goes into the platter. It doesn't come back up to the vinyl, which is why we use that material. So yeah, it's a design that we've been first come out in 1982, I believe, and we've been modifying it ever since. We do a range of tone arm boards, so we can pretty much cater for whatever you want. If you do have an obscure arm, as long as it's not too heavy, there is a weight sort of limit on this, but as long as it's not too heavy, we can make an arm plate to suit. So yeah, and then it looks nice when it's in the room. Gives you something to focus on. and then we've topped it off with we've just started doing a range of cartridges. That's our entry level, the QCC. They're all low output moving coil. This is an aluminium cantilever with an elliptical diamond. All the cartridges share a very similar generator design, and what we've done is design the outside to make the best of the cantilever assembly.
Excellent.
And there we go.
Thank you very much.
All right.